High-density areas to allow double stories. Herald Business. The government has reserved 40% of residential spaces for high-rise apartments. The government will have a policy in place at the end of this year that allows development of double-story housing in the high-density residential areas as part of efforts to narrow demand for low-cost houses, a senior official has said. This also comes as 40% of residential spaces have been reserved for high-rise apartments. High-density residential areas have been confined to single-story structures at a time demand for low-cost housing has been increasing with rapid urbanization experienced in the past decades. But that is about to change with the new policy set to be put in place by year-end, according to Local Government and Public Works Minister July Moyo. Government is going to revolutionize the way our high-density areas look like. Currently there are all single-story structures. A policy is in the making, and before year-end, all high-density areas will be permitted to put up double-story structures, he said in a speech delivered on his behalf by Director in the Ministry Mr. Shingi Mashamba at the Global Renaissance Investment (GRI) Annual Zimbabwe Infrastructure Investment Summit and Awards held in Victoria Falls last week. The reason the policy has taken time to pronounce is that it is in the interest of public safety. We need to put in place standards to ensure that the structures to be developed are durable and will not collapse, as we have read in other jurisdictions. Minister Moyo said the government was cognizant of the huge demand for affordable housing, especially in high-density areas, and more efforts were being put in place to ensure Zimbabweans' right to decent accommodation was met. As such, high-rise developments would accommodate more people on smaller pieces of land. He said, in terms of housing, a policy has been put in place that 40% of all residential space be made available for high-rise apartments. So far we know individual units are quickly snapped up by individual households. Already, several cluster developments are being implemented in cities as part of densification. Meanwhile, Minister Moyo said there were more opportunities in urban renewal which should see old residential areas be redeveloped into modern locations. Under this initiative, the National Social Security Authority (NSSA) has entered into partnership with the city of Muter for the redevelopment of Sakuba. In the capital city, Harare, Mbeere has been earmarked for the urban renewal program, while Makakoba in Bulawayo is also targeted for urban renewal. Some high-density areas in the resort town of Victoria Falls have also been identified for the program, where old housing stock should pave way. Modern facilities in line with growing modern trends. Government's plans will also ensure new developments are self-contained, with all necessary facilities to decongest the central business districts. Despite the efforts, Minister Moyo acknowledged more needed to be done on the transport side to meet demand, calling for private player participation to enhance public transport.